everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Tuck of Fame podcast. And today I'm introducing you to Diane Strand. Diane impacts K through 12 higher ed students and community interpreters and adults with development disabilities to reach for their dream with D, direction, R, realization, E, evaluation, A, action, and M, momentum. She teaches visual, performing, and digital arts, providing career pathways. She is the majority owner of JDS Video and Media Productions, Inc., JDS Acting Studios, and the founder of nonprofit JDS Creative Academy. She's also a best-selling author on entrepreneurship and breaking into the industry as an actor. Diane is a founder of the DigiFest Temecula, and now in its 8th year, the third festival competition and conference for everything digital, which is film, video, music, animation, graphic arts, and more. And Diane provides pathways for career opportunities in the visual, performing, and digital arts. Her passion for the workforce development and arts led her to write 2 approved curriculums for video production. One is Title 17 program designed for adults and development disabilities. The other is a California state-approved apprenticeship for a program for college graduates. These programs provide hands-on training along with paid support internship opportunities designed to break down barriers to gainful employment in video production, post-production, and acting. Diane's prior career life holds credits from A-list shows such as General Hospital, Friends, which is my personal favorite, Veronica's Closet, and building the high-def control room at Staples Center. For the last 17 years, Diane has been a successful interpreter of her own multi-award-winning production company, working with clients such as Abbott Vascular, City of Temecula, Cal State San Marcos, and United Healthcare Services, to name a few. And Diane has launched over 100 video and acting careers into the mainstream entertainment and video production industry. She sets out to provide hope with Diane defines as hoping one person every day. And Diane's work is absolutely amazing. I found her work on social media and it's seriously amazing. And once I saw she works with Friends, which is one of my personal favorite shows, I'm like, okay, I have to talk with her about Friends and everything she's doing because I'm a big Friends geek. And I can't wait to dive into all the amazing things she's doing into today's episode. But thank you so much, Diane, for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Kylie. I'm honored to be here. And that was a long list of things that make me feel a little bit humble there. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, in case people are not familiar on how you started and what got you into it, I know you've been doing this for about 20, 25 years, you said earlier, but what kind of got you started into your work?
Well, the arts have always been a part of my life. It's really what kept me grounded, even when I was very young. They always say you can't connect your dots if you're looking forward, you have to look back. And my first dots for the arts really show up in second grade. I was diagnosed as a dyslexic reader, and I really struggled. And one of the ways that I realized how to put things into action was to have to take things in a different direction and learn differently. And so I taught myself how to read. I utilized a photographic memory, and I really wanted to be in a play, playing Betsy Ross in the school play. And I was told, don't even try because I couldn't read. And I was always have had that mentality, watch me. And that's exactly what happened is I got the part in the second grade play. And even as I continued to struggle through school, it was always the arts that, it would have been very easy in high school to just kind of check out. And I didn't check out because I always wanted to be in the play. And that kept me staying in school, getting good enough grades, working really hard at that so I could be in the plays. And that's always been my passion, is the art. So I started out as an actor, and then I found my way moving backstage when I started having to produce theater and different kinds of projects just so I could be in them. And then all of a sudden I didn't want to be in them anymore. And it was more fun for me to write, direct, to be able to produce and put those productions and projects on. And I found my way moving backstage. And even as someone who struggles to read and write, I find that writing really is my go-to because I'm a storyteller. That's really the bottom line.
I'm the same way. Like I'm the type of person that loves to read and write. I'm not the best writer. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the best writer, but I always love to like write in certain things. I loved how you kind of got that kind of sort of go-getter attitude when you want to be in that place. Of course, I'm the type of person that loves when I set my mind on something, I immediately want to do it, no matter if I'm having a reading disorder or talking disorder, whatever that may be. I loved how you kind of really push out of that disorder into something that you really wanted. I know that it must have took a lot of courage out of you.
Yeah, well, I'm a firm believer that, you can't do things fearless, but you can do things fearless.
Hmm.
And that's taking control of the fear and not letting it stop you. You have to step outside that comfort zone to make that magic happen. So I've gotten comfortable with being uncomfortable
Hmm.
because I know that that discomfort is temporary, but whatever growth I'm going to get from the obstacles that I'm trying to break down is going to be permanent. And I go after, I believe that you are either winning or you're learning, and both of those are okay. And you just keep pushing yourself forward because if you want to make something happen, you have to create action to create momentum. And
Like when I know for a lot of people, like I know a lot of people are just the type of people that don't like to start things. They rather just have the opportunities they get just on them rather than to start and do it on their themselves and kind of lean towards that. And to have like that go-getter attitude, I'm the type of person, like I said earlier, I love to do things on my own. I'm very independent. I love to get the opportunities rather than to sit back and wait for those type of things. And I love like that you were able to touch on kind of just growing on that opportunities and no matter what situation. But I wanted to ask you, like you work with K through 12 higher ed students, and community interpreters and adults with development disabilities. It kind of what you had when you're growing up to reach for their dream. But what was kind of like the most important step in terms of reaching for a dream from your experience?
Well, just continuing to reach for my dream. Even today, I still have dreams that I'm reaching for, that I'm going for, that never stops. I'm a lifelong learner. I
Mhm.
really enjoy learning. I can't say that that's always been true, but then if I look at it, it has always been true. It's just that there were challenges and I had to figure out how to break down those barriers. And now later in life, I help others break down those barriers and teach them tools to do that. And I still have challenges, it never stops. It doesn't change just because I have years of experience and some things come to me a little bit more naturally. I have to continue to push myself every day. That's why I love entrepreneurship, because every day I do something new, something different, and I have to keep pushing myself. That's how I stay energized, stay passionate, and keep that flowing. So, I mean, I've had lots of great, huge wins in my career, and I've also had some great, huge learning experiences in my
Mhm.
careers that I've gone through. And, my pathway isn't linear, just moving straight across. My pathway goes up and down and it
Mhm.
moves and directions change. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, would I be doing what I'm doing right now? I couldn't have seen it. I wouldn't have known. I would have been like, there's no way. But now that I look backwards, connecting those dots, I'm exactly where my dots in my past bring me to this spot right here. So that's what I have to say for everyone is, whatever it is that you're going through and you're trying to seek something out, just because you get a no, it may just mean not right now. It may just mean you have to pivot or find some different way of achieving that dream, that goal, that thing that you're looking for. That's where it comes back to that journey, because it really is a journey.
It really is because, of course, I love that you mentioned that you didn't expect to be what you're doing 10 years ago. And I was honestly the same way. I grew up being the most shyest person ever. And of course, doing a podcast or any public speaking takes a lot of speaking. And growing up, that wasn't my favorite thing. That was my least favorite thing, is speaking to people. And like when you connect the dots to things you didn't expect, it's just a matter of how much you've grown in a matter of, let's say, 5 to 10 years. And when you go for dreams, it depends on what you are going for and what goals you have for yourself. And I know with every person, their dreams are very different from some people. Some might be the same, some might be different. But of course, with defining your dreams, that always takes so much work. But I know dreams really change a matter of time as you grow older.
Absolutely. You talked about my prior career. I had a successful career in the entertainment industry, working on shows like General Hospital and Friends and Veronica's Closet, and I thought that was what I wanted. That was my dream at that time, was to
Yeah.
work in the entertainment industry, to be a part of these huge national
Mhm.
big television shows. That was my jam at the time. But
Yeah.
how it shifted and how it changed with how I grew, and when I realized that I was seeking what I was getting, but it didn't matter that it was on Friends. It didn't matter that it was on General Hospital, because the minute I started doing what I was doing on those shows and doing it for making videos that all of a sudden mattered or changed people's lives, when I started working in the biotech industry, making videos for pharmaceutical companies and companies that had solutions to cancer, those videos all of a sudden were making a difference and impacting. And I'm not saying that entertainment doesn't impact people. Of course, look at, you love Friends. It's one
Yeah.
of the things that you gravitate to, and I loved it too, and it was great, and I learned a lot. And yes, I got to hang out with, some of the stars and get to know them, and that's all fun and good. But people are people. And that's what I
Yeah.
started realizing, is that when all of a sudden I was working with a different set or a different population of people, and I was impacting them, that mattered to me differently. And I started taking a different path, and my journey started changing for whatever reason. It wasn't like some grand, oh, now I'm going to go do this. It propelled me to then all of a sudden looking, going, oh, I enjoy this more than I enjoy that. And this is a way to fulfill that. And so I'm going to start going down that pathway and finding ways to meet those same passions and goals, but differently.
And I feel like there's some sort of stigma between, like, of course, with entertainment industry and people watching television, like big shows that maybe like Full House, Friends, I don't know, like General Hospital and some of those shows. Like, I feel like when people watch some sort of entertainment, I feel like there's some sort of stigma between, are they actually like us? Like, are they actually kind of real people? But even though they're oftentimes, well, quote unquote famous, or they have more people, like kind of a lot more people know who they are. And of course, like some people forget to realize that they're actually human, they're living life, but they just have a lot of credits to their name by being on, let's just say, Friends, for example. You know what I mean? And some people oftentimes real forget that they're actually real people rather than being famous. Of course, being famous is a good and bad thing, but I know that it can really sidetrack a lot of people into thinking if they're actually real people, like like them, like this actual real people.
Yes, and I tell that all the time when people come to our studio to take acting classes and they say they really want to break into the industry. I ask them, do you want to be famous or do you want to work as an actor? Because I can show you how to work as an actor. I can't promise you're going to be famous. I can't promise you're going to be a household name, but I
Yeah.
can promise that you can act and you can make money. That is absolutely possible. You love your craft, you study your craft, you get the right tools to go out to know how to, you know, put your career into action. You can do that just like you could be a doctor or a nurse or a CPA or any of those businesses. You can be an actor. Doesn't mean you're going to be famous.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean you're going to get to, have your name in lights, but you can make a career out of it. You can make a living at it. These are all things that you can do. So those are two very different things. And once I started realizing that, you know, way back in my late 20s, and it took a while. It's one of
Yeah.
those things where beginning, I really just, I guess I wanted to be famous more than I wanted to do anything else, but I didn't realize that because that's really not true,
Yeah.
because that's the last thing that I want now. But yet I have found my way to stages and I still get to pursue that and do certain things in that. And that's the beauty, I think, of this industry. That's the beauty of growth. Because people really are just people, and they have the same issues that we all have every day. They deal with fear. They deal with, was I good enough? Everyone I've ever met in the industry, the first thing they say when they come off set was that okay? Did I do that? Was that good enough? So whether they are the household name or they're someone you've never met, everybody needs that validation. Everybody is looking for making sure that they're giving you what you want. And that's how you know they're genuine people. If they are wanting to provide value, and whether they're trying to make you laugh, trying to make you cry, or they're trying to impact you to do videos that provide solutions to mental health and physical health and breaking down barriers so you can live your passion or your dream. We're all just people who are out there trying to provide value.
Exactly. And as you said before, you worked on a variety of different shows, such as General Hospital, Friends, Veronica's Closet, and building the high definite control room at Staples Center. What are some kind of your fondest memories from working on those shows?
Well, some of my fondest memories is really hanging out with the crew,
Mhm.
and having a lot of fun. And the crew can be some of the actors as well, but when they're just part of the team, when we're all trying to collaborate to get something done, sometimes some of the best moments happen at between, like, 10 o'clock at night and 2 o'clock in the morning when we're all tired, but all of a sudden the inspiration hits us and we figure it out, and it starts really being super creative and we're all laughing and having a good time. Those are some of my best memories from back then and even today. When I'm trying to put out my TV show, I have a TV show called Spirit of Innovation, Arts Across America, and our show comes out actually today, the day
Oh,
we're filming this.
congratulations.
And but we've been doing it for 6 years, but there's challenges and everything else. But today's the excitement. And last night when we were here working on it at 8:30 at night, it was like the juices were flowing and everything was going. Those are my favorite moments. And you get to then see your creativity and your vision come to life and go, oh, either I had a part in that or I did that, I made that. Those are the wins and even the learnings, because it's
And
not easy.
yeah, like it is honestly the best feeling. Like when you come out with different projects, it comes like so relief because it's finally finished. You don't have to worry about it and all the stress. Even though it's part of working on this project you're working on, the relief to when it finally is out is just a different feeling than you're used to 24/7 with all the stress you work on to build a project.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of hard work. I say that this isn't brain surgery, but yet at the same time, you have it's long hours. There is a grind to it. There is a, you have to go that extra mile in this industry, but the best thing to remember is that extra mile is never crowded. And when
Mm,
you're doing that and you're taking action, you're creating momentum, you're going to fulfill your dreams. You're going to make things happen. I see that at all different levels. We have our population that's here that they're learning how to do video production and multimedia. And just because they are learning it, they come to me every day saying, I'm living my dream. I get to do what it is that I love to do every day, whether they're learning it, they're being paid for it, they're having to volunteer to do it. That's where the magic happens, when you're
mhm,
just doing what you love and
mhm.
it provides passion and purpose.
Yeah, and that's really the most important thing, especially. And right before we head off, I wanted to ask you, while working on Friends, like, of course, Matthew Perry passed away last year, which was tragic for us Friends fans. But did you have the chance to chat with Matthew Perry while working on Friends?
I talked to him a few times. He's a very, very nice man. He's definitely a very talented actor, and it's very sad that we had to lose him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a friend. He really truly is a friend. He's a friend to all, and he's a talent. And yeah, I mean, we talked, definitely several times. It wasn't like, we hung out and were best friends or anything like that. But when I worked there, he would come into the production office, and, he's a funny man. He would come in and always get everyone laughing and having a good time, and very nice, very considerate to the crew. It didn't matter whether you were a PA or you were the executive producer. He treated
Yeah.
everybody the same, and he was just a wonderful human.
I love it. Like, I know with Matthew Perry, I grew up watching Friends, and I know he brought a lot of funny moments to screens on television. Like, I remember like when I'd be having a moment where I'm just like, I'm ready to just give up. Like in my upon Friends, he always was a laughing moment where I can just let out. I laugh 24/7. And when a couple weeks before he passed away, I bought his book. Like, and then it came in the mail a few days before his back, he passed away. But I never read it yet because I have so much books to read before that. But after he passed away, I'm like, are you serious? Like, of course he passed away few days after. And it was really heartbreaking for me to watch Friends after he passed away, because it just never hit the same as much as it did when he was alive. And it really changed a lot of people's perspective on celebrity deaths and how much they really enjoyed watching that person.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard because, but you have to remember Matthew Perry is not Chandler. They're
Yeah.
two completely different people as far as that goes. Even though one has to feed into the other because he portrayed Chandler, and Matthew was a real person. That's why I said people are people. Life definitely provided him challenges that, you know, he had, whether he shared them publicly or it was all private to him. Those were his pains and his struggles and his challenges that he had to deal with. It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy Chandler, because
Mhm.
Chandler on Friends, and that was his highlight. And so watch it knowing that he was living his dream when he was portraying Chandler. That was his dream, was to be an actor and to be able to make people laugh. And he did that very successfully. So, if anything, I enjoy almost watching it now because I see it in a different way.
Yeah.
I see that he was living his dream. That was his outlet. That's how he got to share with the world, who he wanted to be or who he could portray to be, and put Matthew Perry, in the back seat a little bit because,
Mhm.
Matthew Perry, he had, his own challenges just like we all do. And, we just have to hope that he's found his peace.
So true. And I know with Friends, they definitely gave him his dream come true. I know when you're acting on a big show with Jennifer Aniston, It is a big tool to become a big sitcom like Friends, and it really gave a lot of the Friends cast their dream come true by having tons of fans. I still enjoy it to this day. In 2024, I still enjoy it every single day when I'm doing something and watching in the background, and it really did provide so many reasons for everyone to love the characters and also the actors as well. But before we wrap up, how can people connect with you and kind of chat with you more about your work?
Well, you can definitely always find me on all social media. A great way to do that is through the hashtag JDS Family. That is a search tool, so you can find whether you're looking for my video production company, our actors studio, the nonprofit. We have a great event. It's called DigiFest Temecula, and it's a 3-day signature event for all you television and film creatives out there, podcasters, anybody who works in the digital media, from music, animation, graphic design. There is a competition aspect. This is how you leverage your career. You enter competitions and get laurels. So your audience, as well as you, Kylie, you need to put your podcast in there. Submissions are open till March 10th, so we're getting tight on that. And then the tickets go on sale tomorrow, actually, March 1st, and they'll be on sale. The event is April 19th, 20th, and 21st here at our studio. We have Golden Globe winners, we have Emmy winners, we have people who produce for HBO, people who make who are actors. We have famous actors who are coming to show creatives how to pursue their dream and career. So I definitely think that that's something you should all look up and be a part of if you're interested in the industry. And, I'm going to go back to, because you were talking about Friends and Matthew Perry really quickly, and Jennifer Aniston, is just remember that, they're people living their dream and living their passion, and they get to be who they are because of the writers who are the
Mhm,
storytellers. The storytellers is where that chemistry originates.
mhm.
So for all of you creatives out there and who love this industry, share a good story.
I love it. It really is all from the creators and the writers for making the shows possible. And it really is because of the writers that really make every show possible and make every story interesting, and also the actors as well. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be having entertainment. But I really want to thank you so much, Diane, for joining us today. I love having you on. I definitely want to have you on again to discuss more, but I would definitely look into that stuff. You said, because that's something I'd definitely be interested in. I hope everyone else does that as well. And I hope everyone enjoys the rest of your day whenever you're listening. And thank you so much, Diane, for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.